So not sure how familiar different teams may or may not be with it. That could be a factor in some of these, both with picks and you know, obviously the matchups. Well, here we go, All-Stars versus MOW. Looks like they're ready to go to get us kicked off. Again, going to start with the 2v2 portion. We'll move in from there. Here is your countdown, 3, 2, 1, and it's game time, baby. Connex 5 here with you for the last matchup of the week. We got All-Stars versus MOW. Getting started with the 2v2 portion first. We are on DM Hazard. Kind of a unique map. Lots of crazy movement options here. One of those maps where map knowledge and experience with moving around the map just makes a huge difference. Right off the bat, you got reflex and killing. Taking an early lead. Ooh, he stingers him down into the lava. He can shoot that target to go through that little grate right there. Again, lots of map knowledge coming into play here. It's an interesting map in the range of the fights. You can definitely get into people's faces with flak. Sort of a short to mid-range map on the whole, but there are some sight lines for some long-range sniping as well. I dare say this might actually be the most maybe complex 2v2 map we have. There's a lot going on with it as far as movement options and ways to get yourself in position for power-ups and ways to cut off opponents. You're seeing Reflex right there doing some slides. Really very familiar, obviously, with this map and all the cutoff points and such. This map is basically a jungle gym. It's almost like a parkour gym. For TDM, you see Seth actually killing himself there. Reflex and killing are a scary enough duo as it is. Definitely don't need to spot them any points. You can see Reflex knowing he can drop those rockets right through that grate. So first amp actually goes to Seth. He goes down, killing will probably pick it up. And the interesting thing about this map, since it is so complex, you can definitely bait. Oh, nice boot jump snipe shot with the amp there. You can definitely bait amp runners into some ambushes on it. So it's not a map where you're just going to grab amp, sit in the middle, and you know, spin around like a human turret like on deck or something. Nice rocket to the face. Seth, back-to-back rockets, knocking him off the perch up top there. I think he may have grabbed the belt before going down though. So Seth bringing it back up to an even 0. I'm not sure if he shot himself in the face or fell in the lava earlier, but certainly a moral victory. You never want to be negative. Oh, the mid-air link just eviscerates people. So we got 12 seconds till this belt spawns. 100 armor's up right now. We'll head over to 100 armor. It's in kind of a vulnerable position. You can see across the map. Killing's going to have that. Belt's going to be up as well. It's going to be up on top of the map. This is where some really interesting fights go on here. Both you see jump boots can get you up there. You can get up there via jump pad from both sides. Really kind of unique placement of that particular power-up in this map. Amp up top as well, and there's the jump boots coming into play. Just how easily you can get to them, and the nice rocket through the floor. And a rampage. You can definitely tell All-Stars has been practicing this map, looking very familiar with it. And given that we're on a European hub, I would presume that this would be their map pick as well. So you got Belt coming up soon, already 23-0. Looks like All-Stars looking very, very comfy on this map. I don't know about MOW. Like I said, this is a relatively new map. And also a pretty complex map, all things considered. It's definitely got a bit of a learning curve to it. There's teleporters, there's like targets to get yourself through shortcuts. There's all sorts of movement. You saw the jump there by Reflex. Really nice jump to get you straight up top in a relatively safe manner. It's one of those maps that can be very confusing when you first play it, but very intricate once you do. So any amount of a difference in map knowledge makes a huge difference. That and of course Reflex and Killing, maybe perhaps two of the best pure fraggers in the world right now. Going to be very difficult to beat, especially on this map. Ooh, Killing with the amp in his hands, narrowly avoids that bio rifle ambush. Looking for an escape. Gets a little bit of a light roast there. Just kind of a surface level sear. I like my Killing to be a little bit rarer on the inside than most people. Get a little 1/4 inch sear on the outside, perfectly cooked. Oh, the dangerous shot right by his teammate. Decided that going for the rampage was more important than Reflex's life, and you know, who can blame him? No guts, no glory, right? Yeah, that's from Die Hard. We're bringing in Die Hard. I think that was Die Hard with a Vengeance, which, for my money, arguably the greatest Die Hard, but that's a whole other conversation. Maybe Dusik and I will do another hour-long intermission one day where we can talk about movies. Oh, nice headshot there by Killing. We've seen a ton of really impressive headshots today for whatever reason. See, shield belt up top, Killing just going to maintain control, and it's so important on this map to have your teammates near you for that belt as well. You can see how, oh, the goo falls through. That's actually a new one for me. I hadn't seen the chasing goo fall through a grate like that. I wasn't sure what was going to happen there. I hadn't actually messed around with that before. Interesting. So does that mean you can use grates like that to escape goo? I've never actually tested that. So jump boots in the hand of Killing. You see him shooting his way through there. Again, a very unique mechanic and something where if you're not used to that on the map, you can kind of get yourself trapped there and kind of not really have that instinct to look up and zap that button. With a midair flak, there's a lot of bouncing around you do on the top of this map. Oh, is that a pancake stomp? Webfaster ending his spree. I think he may have stomped on his head first. Did the Mario and then finished him off with flak. So we're halfway through this one, and MOW, another midair flak. Webfaster now. Opening things up a bit. Still a firm lead here for Allstars, but MOW showing a little bit of signs of life. Killing with the amp in his hands again. Is that the third amp for him? I feel like he's just been... Might be the second amp for Killing. Not the easiest map. We talked about the sight lines. It's not the easiest map to run around with sniper rifle. Killing makes it work. Dodging rockets close range with the sniper rifle. Not an easy situation to find yourself in, but made it work. Nice concentration there. It's very easy to have your aim disrupted when you're getting bounced around like that. So here we go, past the halfway point of this one. Pretty much all stars at this point. But MOW did get on the board. They are kind of building a little bit of momentum. Started off negative, and that's you never want to do that. At the very least, you want to put some points on the board. Oh, Killing taking out Web faster. I thought Web's rockets might have killed him, but it looks like he killed him first, then let go of his rockets. At least those rockets didn't go anywhere. I've definitely been in positions where I'm charging rockets, I get killed from the side, and then those rockets get released and kill my teammate, and that's just like Benny Hill theme song starts playing at that point. It's when you just shut her down and go home. There's another indication, let's just say example. Another example of a nice way to get up to the shield belt there. There's so many different methods, and that's the key. If when you first walk into this room, first time you see this map, you're a little confused, like how the hell do I get up to that belt? And the more you play around with it, the more you realize that there's actually a ton of different ways to do it. Web faster taken out. Ooh, some All-Stars player there getting another kill and the 100 armor. You can see 100 armor, as you might expect with this lopsided of a game, been very much in All-Stars control, but Web faster getting in there, getting a little bit of damage in. We do have Amp taken by Killing again. We'll follow him and see what he does with it. Again with the close range sniper, feeling very comfortable. Of course, Killing an experienced Quake player as well, so certainly no stranger to the twitchy, close to mid-range, or medium to mid-range. Strike that, reverse it. Close to medium range. Sniping, we do see a little bit of lag coming through, but hopefully not going to affect them too bad. Killing going up to 200 ping. This is an intriguing development that we'll keep an eye on. Looks like it might be done. Maybe someone's, maybe he left Steam open and was downloading an update or something. We'll go on board with Setdak. See what it looks like from his perspective. We're just over 3 minutes to go. There's a killing spree by Reflex. And that's pretty much been the story of this game. I mean, All-Stars just took control early, have yet to relinquish it. MOW's done a little bit better, putting 13 points on the board, which is really 14 since they killed themselves early on. And actually it looks like 15, that's right, because we saw 2 deaths. There's a little yoink. Killing, though, yet again with the amp in his hand. I feel like he's just all over that amp this game. There's some nice kills there by Seth. We'll go on board with him with that amp. Getting a couple more on the board as we close this one out. So it looks like map 1 going to go to All-Stars. Again, this is the first match of this matchup. We started with the 2v2. So first map going to go to All-Stars. We're going to play best of 3. That'll be the first point on the board. 5 total points available, and as we looked at the rankings before, big implications. Every point matters in this league because we're going to use those final points to seed the playoffs just 2 weeks away. Oh, nice rocket there by Seth, catching, killing. We do have the amp up, and again, amp kind of in an awkward spot here. Jump boots are so critical to getting it in your possession cleanly. Seth gets in and out with it, and the belt in his possession as well, so no more jump boots to get up top. But Seth in a situation here to do some damage. One quick kill on Reflex. You can catch him around there. Could get the spawn kill, chasing him down, but he gets away. You see Killing rotating over to help. It's a nice rotation. Baited Seth into diving into a combo. Doesn't get the kill, but will chase him down. Up to a 50 frag lead. So with 30 seconds to go, I think we can safely call this one. Map 1 going to go in the books to All-Stars. Big 5k damage from Killing. And again, just a fun map to watch. Players just bouncing around all over the place. Kind of wacky. Got that parkour gym, funhouse kind of jungle gym vibe to it. So counting that one down, map 1 to All-Stars. Map 2 coming up next. We'll see if they can secure that first point, or if MOW can pull a rabbit out of the hat and force a map 3. All right, looks like we're heading over to the New York hub, and we will see Codex as map 2. So bear with us as we switch rails here. Yes, lag switching, obviously the key to winning. We got accused of lag switching in the Nexus tournament back in the day when Death Threats with me, Kuzki, and Pyrogenics and Zelos. People insisted that we had a lag switch that we turned on, and that's why we were able to win by 80 points. It's because of the lag. It wasn't because of the shooting them with weapons, clearly. All right, looks like we got all 4 players in the new server. Killing loading in, and we'll be underway here in just a moment. Of course, map 1 going All-Stars way, so this will be match point for them. Taking that first point, starting off with the 2v2 portion here. I'm not sure if we're going to go to 4v4 after this or do the duels. You know, again, sometimes we play a little bit out of order just for the sake of accommodating schedules, so not sure what the exact details of that were, but certainly we will be bringing you at least 2v2, well, excuse me, at least 2 more 4v4s, and then a couple of duels to close out the week. And we can talk a little bit about the last week. There'll be a big one coming up next Sunday, and then of course the playoffs, Saturday and Sunday after that, so mark your calendars for sure. No excuses, y'all. You know You know when it's happening. If you need to induce labor early, induce labor early. Do it on Friday. Ooh, does it really have... Yeah, I sympathize. I'm actually, as luck would have it, and this is something I had zero control over, we'll actually be moving at the middle to end of August. So right after UTPL ends, I'll be moving. And so, you know, I'll have access to actual real internet eventually, but luckily all that transition is going to happen right as we finish off the season. So I may be in a situation like that where I'm working off a mobile hotspot to do some work and stuff for a little bit. So totally empathize with that. If you see me in any pubs towards the middle to end of August and I've got like 120 ping or something, you know, to a North American server, that will be why. That said, New Neighborhood does have some, supposedly they have some fiber options, so we'll see what that gives us. I can already stream at 1080p at 60 frames outbound as it is, but who knows? Maybe I can do multiple streams. I don't know. What do you do with extra pipeline? If you had like a gig upload, like what would you actually do? What do you stream? I guess I could stream at 1440, but and then downscale it, right? I don't know. Does anything besides Twitch allow for a high... I don't think anyone allows for super high-resolution streaming unless you're probably like a super big-name person who's pulling in tons of money, right? So, in any case, I digress. The new house will be able to handle me streaming at the same time my girlfriend is streaming. We'll do it that way. We'll put it that way. Killing, meanwhile, I'm sure he'll get his internet in order eventually, but currently... looking to stabilize it, maybe go through a VPN. Gotta find them super tunnels. All right, looks like players are ready, killing back in. Internet seems to have stabilized a little bit. We saw a couple spikes last map, but it seems at least reasonably stable here. All right, and we are jumping right back into it. All right, players are ready. Here is your countdown. 3, 2, 1. And it's game time, baby. Connex 5, bringing you the last 2v2 of the day. We just saw Allstars running all over DM Hazard. We're here on Codex. They're trying to close out the 2v2 portion with a point on the board. MOW trying to force a map 3 reflex with a quick flat kill and a double kill. Of all 2v2 maps, this is one where flat can really come up huge. There's so many tight corridors, so many places, especially around the crossroads in the middle of the map. And of course, even on those power-ups, just ambush people so quickly with that flak, and knows exactly what to do with the shock rifle as well. Oh, has the spawn down low and another opponent down there. I don't know what you call that back little corner staircase, but even going back to the UT99 days, I think that's the first place I ever really felt comfortable with the flat cannon, because I knew if I turned that corner and someone was there, they were toast. Oh, Webfaster with the kamikaze. So that'll end the killing spree for Reflex at 5. But all of the armor going into Allstars' favor and killing no stranger the flat cannon as well. Nice shock ball, but not able to combo it. But another fast-paced start here. Seeing a lot of flat come out already. Not surprising. First amp does go to Killing. Seems like he's kind of been there. Oh, designated amp runner, and he flaks himself in the face. Oh, it's a bold strategy, Cotton, but luckily they're up 10-0, so I don't think it's going to make too huge of a difference. Seth, we saw him with a couple big shots with the amp in map 1. See them locking Killing into that corner, but not really getting any damage output. And eats a shock ball just from long range. Killing finishes him off, and that's pretty much been the way it's gone. Reflex now running around with that shock rifle. Pretty much just going to point and click on everything he sees. Oh, dual enforcers. That's actually... This is a map where dual enforcers as well. Since you're always in close to medium range, this can be very, very scary. They're not very accurate long range, but the damage output potential is really high. Ooh, flak ball to his teammate. I think they're playing with 50% friendly fire, if I'm not mistaken, so not going to do a ton of damage. And more flak around that crossroads room. And a double kill right off the spawn. Relentless is Reflex right now. Already 1,200 damage on the board. And you can see that 7 armor pickups to 0. MOW had their hands on the amp for a little bit, but really no control of the power up so far. Allstars has just been all over this map. And there is the domination up by 20. Reflex looking for another spree. 11-1 now. Looks like he might get it right here. Ooh, a Seth that turned that corner. Seth does have amp in his hands. Webfaster not happy about the ping. I mean, that's been a conversation all season long. But, I mean, when you have teams, from across the world, only so much you can do, unfortunately. So Belt spawns in 5 seconds. You do have a bit of a battle over it. 2 All-Star players running in. Webfaster does steal it with nothing but bio rifle out. He manages to get in and out. And there's a big bio rifle shot. A bit of a desperation blow, but he did do some damage. Reflex down to 15 HP. Killing down to 67. I think MOW at this point just trying to get on the board. Like I say, a bit of a moral victory there. You want to at least have positive damage. Reflex on a rampage. And so there you see the flak coming out, and there's the flak ball to the face. I was about to say, we've seen All-Stars use that flak in that crossroads room. We'll just call it the cross so well. That time Webfaster giving him a taste of their own medicine, dropping a flak ball into his face and breaking the spree, and breaking the big 0 on the scoreboard, making it a 28-1 game. That's kind of a moral victory, you know what I mean? You definitely don't want to end up 0. You certainly don't want to be negative. Killing, though, picking up that amp with the flak. Oh, and a double kill. Ooh, almost another one off the spawn there. I'm noticing a lot of comfort with this map, too. This is a map where if you get one kill, you can pretty well predict where an opponent might spawn. You can often get a couple kills in a row right off it. Oh, there's another one with the flak by Killing. And another full flak. Does look like he's a little bit unstable with his internet connection. Again, kind of, I think he might be working off a mobile hotspot. Not affecting him this match, though. So we are approaching the halfway point. You see that flat ball to the face by Webfaster. Pretty much all All-Stars at this point. We'll check out the damage amp coming up top. So Not the easiest double damage to get to, all things considered. You don't need jump boots or anything, but you're going to do the lift jump up here and kind of have to navigate around that board to get your way up here. Some people, of course, jump over here first. It's a bit of a game of chicken. Anytime you're waiting for it and someone else is down there, but it looks like you're going to see a free grab by Seth. See what he can do with it. Trying to get some damage on Reflex. Ends up falling back. Oh, and Reflex. Oh, killing, getting in the double kill with the headshot. That'll earn Reflex a little bit of amp time here. Not a whole much. Seth, I think, tried to feign death there to hide in the corner. Didn't work out for him. I don't know that I've ever seen feign death work. Maybe it has. It seems like that's one of those first couple weeks, you know, UT99, like when people were still figuring everything out. It goes right up there with like throwing a weapon at someone, because if they have auto switch on, it'll cause them to switch in the middle of a fight. It's one step beyond telling them that Alt F4 is how you open the settings menu, right? Webfaster does crank out another kill there. We're just past the halfway point. You can see definitely all All-Stars yet again. I mean, they look so strong. I don't know, have they lost in 2v2 yet? I don't actually know off the top of my head. But killing a Reflex, I mean, going to be a very difficult team for anyone to take down. We are seeing MOW able to challenge the power-ups surprisingly well this game. I mean, you can see the amps 4-4 on the shield belts, so you know, actually getting themselves in pretty decent position here. But in the case of killing a Reflex, I mean, they're going to be able to out-frag, just purely out-aim 99% of any matchup you can imagine putting them up against. So that'll definitely go a long way towards helping smooth out anything. Even if you end up with the power-up advantage, you still have to outshoot them. Oh, nice use of the Link primary there, just spamming right down that choke point. And it's a smart play too, shooting at the doorway as opposed to just the corner. Ooh, big flat ball to the face. That's actually been, I think, one of the weapons that MOW has had success with in this map. I mean, of course, we said flat can be huge on this particular map just because of the close range. Nice tracking by killing. And the spatial awareness, right? Players often never look up or down, right? Everyone gets kind of stuck looking at a plane. On this map, especially with that top area with the rocket launchers, you have to get used to it. You can get ambushed from above so much. It's so classic to look up there and catch someone with Link or Pulse for that matter, or you know, or like throw a combo right as they're landing. But to track someone in midair and snipe them like that, not easy to do. Especially again, following killing there, you can see he's definitely getting some lag spikes, making do with his internet connection being a little wonky. Reflex is up top. Amp doesn't spawn for another 35 seconds. I'm not sure if he has a bad timing on it or what. Belt does spawn right now. They actually give that up. Webfaster grabs it. And Webfaster with another flat cannon kill. But they do trade on that one. So take a look at this scoreboard. Pretty even on amps. Pretty solid advantage for the 100 armors, which often is a good indication of control of the map. Given that you do have shock rifle down there, this is such an important control point of the map. And really, like I said, All-Stars at this point just kind of run around and out-fragging them. Killing, grabbing the amp, and again, tracking up. Good fundamentals on this map, not getting ambushed from above. A lot of times you'll get a kill down there, people will respawn above you with rockets, drop down and take you out. Hasn't happened yet, always been ready for it, but eats a flak ball. Seth just feeds him that smiley face. It does kind of look like a piece of candy. Can we get that made? Can we get some like jawbreakers or gumballs or something that have the flat cannon smiley on them? I feel like that's a no-brainer. That's something that should have happened a long time ago. I guess you could make like cupcakes or something, but really you need that nice shiny, the shiny ball aesthetic. You know what I'm talking about, fellas. It's just satisfying. We do have stickers. Epic did make little round stickers, I believe. Oh no, they were magnets. Were they magnets? I think they were magnets with the flat ball smiley on it. I think I got one of those at some point. So those are kind of cool, but really you gotta have the spherical, ooh, those rockets whizzing right by Killing's face. And of course just casually drops a flak ball in his face while dodging them. Matrixing back and forth. Picks up amp with the flak. That'll be one more kill on the board. And this one, I'm gonna go ahead and say it looks like All-Star is gonna close this one out. Big 5k damage for Reflex Killing. Looks like he might get there himself. So 2v2 will go to All-Star's first point of the matchup. Both players hitting 5k damage, so pretty impressive showing there. Again, I don't know. We still have two 4v4 maps to play, as well as two best-of-3 duels. I'm not sure what order we'll play those in, pending schedules. Usually we start with 4v4, so we might do that next. We will see. As we close out our next to last week of the season. While they get that set up, we'll take a quick look at the rankings and all of that again, just to catch you back up to speed if anyone's joining us here. But in any case, it looks like All-Star is definitely going to grab the first two maps in the first point. Ooh, another flak ball just coming out of nowhere. And there you go, game over, and All-Stars taking the first point in our last matchup of the week here. We'll see what they do next. We'll either be duel or 4v4. We'll let them figure that out. In the meantime, I'm going to head over to UTProLeague.com. Here are our rankings. Again, you can see All-Stars. We've covered it before. They've got a doubleheader next week to finish off their matches. So everyone will have 8 matches played by the end of the season. Everyone finishing things off except All-Stars. So every point will matter going into that final matchup. You see, they still have an opportunity to overtake Saints and Sinners for first place. Mesa Gaming still staying at 22 points. Saints and Sinners was able to take 5 over them today. So Mesa Gaming, Sons of War, a really close finish there. And even LATAM, I mean, LATAM's within 5 points of Mesa Gaming. So there's so much shuffling yet to do with big implications for the playoff rankings. So You definitely want to join us next week for that. Give you a quick look at the order of operations for that week. You can see here All-Stars versus MOW, and then everything beyond that. We start off with SOW versus Baguette, MOW versus DW. Then we have SAS versus All-Stars, the first of All-Stars doubleheaders. Or doubleheader. And you got LATAM versus Shooksters, and then Mesa versus All-Stars, which will be a big, big game to finalize the top 3, top 4 kind of rankings that lead us into our playoff structure. And then, of course, the very next weekend, don't forget the first, okay? We're going to start off on a Saturday with our quarterfinals matches, and then we'll have semifinals, third place, and grand finals that Sunday. So keep that in mind. Mark your calendars now. The playoffs will be across 2 days, the first weekend in August. So bookmark the site if you haven't yet. Definitely check that out. Of course, they also have the write-ups for predictions and whatnot. But it's a good place to keep in mind the schedule, of course. And any changes to the schedule will happen. I don't imagine we'll see any changes at this point. Last week is pretty much set in stone since all of the match slots are full. And then, of course, playoffs are what they are. So it looks like they're looking to do the 4v4 first. Not sure what hub they're going to start off on. We'll just hang out, wait for that server to pop up, and join it once it's up. Yeah, now's a good time to check out. You can see in chat we have a ton of social media stuff. The caster from earlier in the day, Dusik, he's been covering the early games. You can definitely follow him on Twitch. And you can follow myself. I'm Connex5, also on Twitch. I technically have a Twitter. I don't use it, but maybe I will in the future. Twitter can be useful for things like giveaways and such. But yeah, I mean, you can see Raise Your Edge Gaming, of course, the sponsors of UTProLeague seasons 1 through 3. And of course, the UTProLeague website and social media itself. Definitely be sure to follow all of that, including this Twitch channel. They definitely do other games besides UT as well. One of these days when Streets of Rage 4 multiplayer becomes a pro-level competitive fighting game, maybe we'll have Raise Your Edge host a tournament for that, and I can finally get rich and retire off of that game. Okay, looks like London Hub does have a matchup. We'll jump over there and be ready to go whenever they are. It looks like Temple is map 1. Gonna guess that's All-Stars pick. Of course, we are on a European hub, so I guess that would ring true, but All-Stars definitely been favoring Temple in 4v4. Fantasy and Demon look like they're rounding it out, along with Killing and Reflex. We've seen some different lineups from All-Stars in the past few weeks, kind of testing out some different combinations of players. This kind of their more, I guess, I don't know, traditional lineup. Maybe the one that we've seen play together the most on stream, at least. We've seen guys like Fusion and Rookie pop out of the woodwork here and there. But this is a pretty consistent lineup for them, so one that I expect we'll see play probably pretty well, especially on a map like this that they really favor. So unique aspects of this map, not unlike Codex. A lot of mid to close range fighting on this map. This is another map where flat cannon can actually be really, really crucial. there are definitely some areas where sniper rifle can be used, but you often see players will grab amp and sniper rifle and run around and try to do that like insta-gib thing where they just pop, 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 get one-shot kills. And they often come up empty because there's just not a lot of open areas to catch enemies running around in, you know, out in the open. So a lot of times amp runners will get ambushed. Avoiding the amp runner can be huge on this map. And you just saw the amp right there up on top of that pillar. All the power-ups in this map are very vulnerable. It's a map where you can get out in front of the power-ups. You can really push the other team off of them to get there early. So a lot of positioning, not unlike Tempest, which we saw earlier. It's another map that really requires you to head to power-ups proactively. You can't really react to them spawning. So Seth's going to restart, but it looks like they've got the rest of their team coming in. Fast Break is here. Web Faster here. I'm going to start a petition for Seth Dackham to change his name to Seth Dark Web. Just so we can have Seth Dark Web Faster Break. Just combine them, just one big portmanteau. I always forget how you pronounce that word. I know it's ironic to forget how to pronounce a grammatical term, but if I was a superhero, I would be ironic, man. No, I never plan on having kids. I just like to tell dad jokes. Ponex joining. Okay, so we got Webfaster, Fast Break, Ponex, Sat Dackham for MOW, Fantasy Demon Killing, and Reflex. Again, very standard lineup for Allstars. This will be their map pick. 4v4. This map will be its own point. Each 4v4 TDM map will be 1 point. The best of 3 2v2 was 1 point already. That one went to Allstars. We'll have 2 4v4s and then 2 best of 3 duels that are each worth a point, and that will close out our week. All right, on the plus side, looks like Killing's connection is at least relatively stable, given he's playing from a mobile connection into Europe. We'll see what he can do with it. We'll see if that plays a factor. But either way, everybody is readied up, and we are ready to go here. Here is your countdown. 3, 2, 1. Man, it's game time, baby. Connex 5, bringing you in to the last 4v4s of the day. Allstars looking to extend their streak here. I suppose it's a streak of 2 maps at this point, but still. Very, very important for them, especially given their relative rankings in the top 3. Every point matters to them at this point. Can't take anything for granted. They took 2v2 fairly convincingly. Right now we got a tie game very early on, obviously. We talked about it before. Allstars has a pretty deep roster, but a fairly standard lineup this game. They've experimented with some different lineups. They haven't done anything exotic this time. We'll see if that plays out. Some flat kills coming out. Expect to see a lot of flat cannon on this map. Allstars is a team that I think has very superior aim, but they seem to favor this map in particular. It is also a very strategic map. It's a map where if you've played a lot together, as they have, you can gain a bit of an advantage with your strategy, your rotations, your positioning. So despite being basically a superior fragging team to most others, going with a map that's really more position and strategy based. So we'll see how that works out. It's only a 1 frag game right now. Takes a while to get really settled into this map. You do have Amp and 100 Armor spawning right now. We're back up. You do have that 100 spawning, and that's become a really important item in this map, to the point where teams will often stick someone dedicated just to that room. So Amp got dropped. We'll see who goes down to it. I'm not sure if anyone's going to pick it up. Fantasy picks it up. Gets 1 kill with it. Still a 2-frag lead for MOW early on, but looking to erase that. He's got boots, he's got Amp, and shock rifle. So the double damage shock rifle, that'll do big damage up close. I'm surprised he didn't switch to Link Gun there. He knocks them off of Belt though. Gets 1 kill, some more damage coming out. Reflex gets a bio rifle kill. He still goes down. It looks like Belt ended up getting taken by Reflex though. So we'll go on board, and there's a headshot up top and the double kill Reflex. Letting Reflex chill up top with Amp and armor. Ooh, and the falling snipe. Just putting on a clinic right now is Reflex with that sniper rifle. And you don't want him to get comfortable running around the top of the map with a sniper rifle. So we've got Belt and Amp and 100 armor basically all spawning at the same time. You can look at the mini-map in the top right and get a sense of who's going where. You can see Reflex, excuse me, the Allstars has sent Reflex over here already in position. He's alone at that Belt. No other red dots around him. They sent somebody out to that 100 armor. You do have Amp in Fantasy's hands. We'll see what he can do with it. He's got a spawner down below. He drops down, takes him out, up to a 10 frag lead. Mid-air flak. Oh, Fantasy blasts him with the amped flat cannon. Doesn't just kill him, but craters him into the ground with emphasis. And nice patience there with the sniper rifle, and then avoiding that flak ball. And just like that, a 15 frag lead for All-Stars, and this is what we see from the best teams. This was almost, well, I mean, it was a dead even game. In fact, I think MOW had the lead by a couple. And then in a matter of 2 or 3 minutes, All-Stars took control of the map and didn't just sit on that. They didn't just pick up the items. They turned that into a bunch of points on the board in a hurry, and that's really key with these top-level TDM teams. Not just getting control of the map, but doing something with it. See Flat Cannon coming out. This is one of the few maps where you might actually run around with Flak as your default weapon. Ponex with a double kill across the map. Go on board with him to see what he's seeing. See him up top, still 20 seconds till Amp spawns. 100 is up. No individual fight over 100 will necessarily be critical in this map, but overall, that accumulation of armor makes a huge difference. We'll keep an eye on that. Oh, we do have Amp spawning soon. Let's go up top to that. You can see blue team there, MOW in position, but All-Stars up top. Oh, he falls off. They had position to grab it. Looked like Reflex. He's going to piston back up there and grab it this time, but down to 60 HP. Nice job, though, with a quick snipe afterwards. He's going to want to pick up some health, though. He doesn't want to expose himself and get taken down. Only 2 sniper ammo, too. I'm kind of surprised he didn't pick up that ammo below him. He does have a link gun, though, if he needs it. You can see not trying to invite too much attention here. Maybe playing a little bit defensive. He's in position for the belt. Oh, now he grabs it. Now he can be aggressive with that amp. Oh, kind of surprised to use that up close sniper against the flak. Got away with it, though. Didn't take a... Well, there he goes. Takes a flak ball and some rockets. Reflex there. Getting stuck, and that's just the nature of this map. There's so many tight little arenas you can get stuck in where if you've got sniper rifle out and you're going up against rockets and flak, you're just going to get bounced around. So fighting all over the map. No power-up spawning for a bit. Big damage differential right now, though, for All-Stars, and that's basically been the difference. I mean, they've got a couple amp runs that were much longer than anything MOW's put together. Otherwise, 8 to 200 armors, and that's going to be a pretty big number. We know teams like to emphasize that. Pretty even split on the belt, but given that the belt is in sort of a 50-50 area, it's an area where even if you're in position, the other team can kind of steal it pretty easily on this map. I think that's why teams like to secure that 100 armor area, because it's easier to get to, it's easier to lock the other team off it, I suppose. You can really seal that area and get away with actually 100 armor, whereas so often with belt on this map, if you grab it, it's just a death trap. Same thing with amp. You see how many times we see someone grab amp and immediately get toasted. Ooh, up top against pistons all over the place. Enforcers, but killing Stays focused, gets the double kill, not going to run into any traps. See the patience there, taking out Web faster to revenge his teammate, but he goes down to the goo. Seth Dacom now with the amp in his hands. It is up to a 20 frag lead, though, about halfway through this map now. All right, so 100 armor in 3, got belt in 5. We'll go over to the belt. You can see 3 All-Stars players all around it. And this is what I mean by how you can lock the other team out of it, but still it can sometimes get stolen like that. I'm going board with Reflex. I believe he took that. You have amp in 20 seconds. Reflex is up top. No armor left, but he does have shock and sniper ammo. Going down, looking for the 50. It's not there. We do have amp up soon. You got the shock rifle down below it. And All-Stars well ahead of schedule here. Amp is up, and they are actually going to get a clean grab here. No real contest, and that's going to be a problem for MOW, as All-Stars here just going to be running around picking people off. So we're past the halfway point. Not a blowout here by All-Stars in the sense of they're not putting a billion points on the board, but just a very solid, very sort of methodical lead built. Reflex there with a nice look-up combo. And look at him, still 145 HP after that amp run. So he can stay aggressive here. Pretty even damage across the board for All-Stars as well. You can see that pretty well dominating the power-up. 6 to 2 belts now, 10 to 500 armors. Way more, almost 10 times as much amp time. And you certainly don't want to get complacent, though, if you're All-Stars here. You still have 6 minutes on the board. I've definitely been in matches where people kind of fall asleep. The other team gets, 10 or 12 kills, and all of a sudden you got a game. You want to stay on top of them. You want to put it away. 80 to 40 is a pretty good situation to be in, though, and it looks like at this point they're kind of coasting. And at this point, it's also very difficult. If you're MOW, you probably lost all the timing of the power-ups, which just makes it doubly hard to get anything put together. But All-Stars pretty experienced at this point. I wouldn't expect them to lose their focus. So I think they'll probably close this one out. You do have... Ooh, stealing the amp, killing. Says, I'm on a spree too, and I have armor. He actually has a little bit more health and armor than Reflex, so... I suppose that's all fair. An amp link gun is just so devastating on this map. It's very difficult to get away because there's so many twists and turns in the map. It's not like you can just run backwards. You really have to know your way around the map. You almost have to turn away from it if you don't have any weapons, just to make sure that you can navigate as quickly as possible. But of course the lockdown comes into play. In any case, not a good position to be in. Ooh, and killing, lagging pretty bad right there, up to 300 ping. Not going to do him any favors, but luckily for him, probably not going to make a difference at this point. Oof. All right, we'll let him deal with that himself. Before anyone says that the spectator's lagging him, we're getting spectator info from the server. It has nothing to do with it. Also explains some of the weirdness that we see. Of course, I have a pretty high ping to this European server myself. Oh, nice mid-air sniper by Reflex to get the dominating, and then gets pistoned into goop. So a fun little exchange there. Kind of reminiscent of some of the early games you play with friends. I feel like even when you and your friends are all new and bad at the game, at some point, someone ends up pulling out the piston and trying to juice people, right? I will say this, though. The melee weapon in UT is always the most annoying sound effect, whether it's the impact hammer, whether it's even the shield belt with the weird growly staticky sound in 2K3 and 4. I just remember guys like Elix used to run around pubs using nothing but shield belt / piston and still finish in first place because they were just that good at positioning and like timing power-ups and stuff. All right, 3 minutes to go. Looks like Allstars is going to take their second point in this matchup. Pretty even damage across the board still. No one person carrying necessarily. You can check out the power-up control firmly in their favor. So 2 points to nothing as we go into map 2. This next 4v4 map will again be another point up in the air. Killing is going to finish this one off with an amp run. Actually, you might have another amp run after this one. Ooh, it goes down. A couple kills for MOW. So belt up in 3. That will, I believe, be the last belt of the game. We will have one more amp run with just about a minute to go. Actually, no, there'll be one more belt. Sorry, one more belt to grab. I imagine we're gonna see this. Yeah, 8-5 now. MOW grabs that, but not gonna make a difference at this point. So amp up in 12 seconds. We'll back up just a little bit. Get a view of how people are trying to organize around this. It's such an interesting amp room because you can get to it from so many different directions. And right now, nobody waiting for it. You do have jump boots down low. Killing can go up and grab it if he wants. I know he's been having internet issues. May not care to grab it, and right now it's just the cookie is just chilling. Ponex saw it up, decided not to piston up there. I don't know that I've ever seen an amp sit around on this map for this long. Reflex going up there with Killing to grab it. Killing's probably like, hey, somebody with a weapon might want this, other than me with my piston, or with my, Enforcer, and he goes down. Webfaster goos him. He'll have a little bit of time with some amp rockets to try to put some more points on the board as we close this one out. Killing ending it on a shredding spree, getting 3 quick kills with that Ant Flax. So first 4v4 map gonna go to Allstars. Another point for them. And I believe we'll be moving to New York Hub after that now for the second one. Interesting. You see Fusion perhaps warming up on Nitro. Curious if he's going to join. He's one of those players Allstars has had deep on their I don't want to say the bench, but who kind of comes in from time to time and plays specific maps, specific scenarios for certain matchups. Not part of their, I guess maybe you might think of his day-to-day roster. That last lineup we saw in Temple, kind of I guess the main lineup for Allstars. But Fusion, Rookie, a couple of people we've seen pop in from time to time. And Fusion in particular has done really well when he has played. Curious to see if he'll join them in map 2 here. All right, looks like Nitro and Fusion is in there, so maybe there's going to be a roster switch. Fusion waiting in the wings. And I don't actually know, I don't have any insight on my own side about when they swap people in and out.
Hail to the king, baby.
All right, so it looks like Demon going to drop out based on what we're seeing. You got Reflex, Fantasy, and Killing coming back. I'm surprised Killing is staying in, given his internet situation. I figured that they would drop him and replace him with Fusion, have 4 players with solid internet. Killing certainly did well enough last map, but we definitely saw him lagging into walls and such. But as it is, Demon going to drop out, and sometimes it could just be a case of Demon hating a map, right? Like sometimes players are just like, look, I never want to play that map. This guy can come in every time. Looks like the same lineup for MOW. They'll take us out here. And this will be our last TDM game of the week. We've got 2 best-of-3 duels following this up. Close us out. So connection settling in. Looks like Killing still working with some issues, but it looks like they're gonna go with them. So this is your lineup. Again, looks like they won pretty handily in map 1. So maybe figuring they'll go with the lineup they had planned. Of course, Nitro here, a map UT99 remake, never really played in 2K3 and 4 to my knowledge. So both an old map and a new map, depending on who you ask. Teams adjusting to that. The first TDM map that we've really played that has a keg in it. So that's another big power up. Same spawn time as Amp. Of course, it adds plus 99 HP. And it's another item to throw into your rotations, I guess. And so it's been really interesting to see how teams play this map in particular. It's definitely got a different flow, both based on the shape and size, as well as having that extra power up. It's been played for a while now, though. Definitely all season. So we've seen a bunch of teams playing around, and I think LATAM in particular, if I recall, has really favored this map. We've seen them and Mesa, if I recall, had a really good match on it. So it looks like everyone just kind of warming up now. I think we had maybe someone step away for MOW. All right, here we go. Kicking it live, starting off here in just a few seconds. And here is your countdown, 3, 2, 1. And it's game time, baby. Connex 5. Bringing you the last TDM game of the week. Allstars looked really impressive in map 1 on Temple. Taking that. Ooh, there's a flat ball to the face. So early lead by MOW. We'll see if they can maintain that momentum. Reflex sits him down with that combo. Looking weak up top. Fall away sniper trying to protect himself. See that combo looking to bait them into going for that sniper rifle. 100 armor spawns right now. We'll head over to it. Killing's going to be heading out over there. Looks like he's got some link gun. Trying to spam down that direction. I'd be curious to find out if anyone dedicates players into holding this area. We've seen that from time to time. This link gun, shock rifle down low, up to 100 armor area. You got these vials here. Sometimes you'll put someone just in that room. Killing seems to be hanging around it. Don't know if that's the strategy or not, but we'll keep an eye on that. We'll head across the map now. We've got the shield belt coming up in 5 seconds. Got to fight over it. And it looks like a couple of MOW players going down. Webfaster coming in. Fast break trying to help. A little bit late to the party though. Fusion gets a double kill rather. Reflex grabs it. So Reflex takes some damage, but still up there in position. Amp and Keg both spawning at the same time. It's 110 seconds. We'll see who's in position. Looks like SAS. God, need more caffeine. Allstars, I should say, in position for Amp. Seth sneaks in though, and Seth steals Amp and gets the kill on a Reflex. Cheeky move there by Seth, but he does go down to the side. We'll see who gets back up to that Amp quickly. I think it's just right in front. Fantasy grabbing it. He's got an Amp. He's on a killing spree. And that's the difference in the game so far. Dropping down, taking it to the 100 armor area, catches Webfaster. And another shot, this time on Pwn X. And this is a map where if you can get that Amp in the middle, you can really just run around and just kind of play duck hunt, basically. Look for targets. You got 2 seconds till the belt spawns. SAS, God, I keep saying it. Allstars. Allstars a little bit out of position. MOW catches them, but Reflex comes around the corner, gets the kill, and another belt for Allstars. It looked like MOW might have an opportunity there to get that power-up secured, but instead, Allstars gets the kill, well in position now to churn out some kills and control of this map. Take a quick look at the scoreboard. We do have another 100 armor coming up. Those have been pretty much split, but 2 belts to 1. Basically 1 amp to 0 so far. We don't have the health keg on the scoreboard yet. Ooh, Piston coming out. Always scary. Oh, and there's a big Flak primary. Flak and Piston, facing those up close is just so scary. Amp is up, but we've got a fight over the belt. Double kill by Reflex. Nice patience. Perfect timing of that belt. He's going to get that, and maybe another kill. There it is. Maybe another off the spawn. Amp is actually up. He could back up and grab that, but I think he's going to try to get the defensive snipes to avoid that bio rifle. And could get another kill here before he even grabs. So a rampage, and he's going to have the Amp in front of him. And look at how little damage he took there. Great, patient defensive play by Reflex. He was being bum rushed. He was being bum rushed from a couple different directions there and still managed to survive. Rocket coming out, Reflex putting out all kinds of damage now. And look at that, a 40 frag lead just like that. I mean, this is one of those maps. It's relatively small. It's relatively easy to traverse. Like, I don't know if it's necessarily wide open necessarily, but it's just, you can track down spawners very easily, I guess is what we're getting at. So if you want to churn out spawn kills, it's exactly what Allstars is doing. Really jumping on them early. So Keg up in 3 seconds. There's the dominate. I guess we'll stick with Reflex. Why not? He's on a roll right now. Another headshot this time. Just hitting. See what he's shooting right now. Nothing crazy. I mean, 46% sniper is pretty good with 54 shots. So that's actually more impressive to me. 54 shots taken with that 46% sniper. That's going to be a ton of damage output by Reflex already just in the first third of the game. We have Amp spawning soon. I guess we'll stay with... If Reflex stays up here and grabs this Amp, he's going to be the player to watch anyway, so might as well settle in. It looks like we've got the Reflex show going on. Another headshot comes in, this time from off screen. It's a double kill. Looks like he's got a chance for a multi if he can settle in. Oh, can't hit the shot. Another power up though. Turnaround sniper. Fantasy dominating now. And Allstars right now firmly in control of this map. Reflex already on a spree again, and we saw him go dominating, then grab another one. Fantasy was on a dominating spree. Looks like he's up to 17. Keg's up now, so it looks like Fantasy might be timing that Keg, and that's a really smart move. I know it's like not rocket science, but running around with double the health, going to be such a boon on a map like this where you can really get into some scrambly situations with lots of people firing at you at once. Belt is going to be up right now. And look at that extra armor on the side of Allstars in the top left on that screen. It's always nice to see sort of total team armor on one side versus the other and how much of a difference that can make. Fusion on a killing spree of his own. Amp is up. It'll be in Fantasy's hands. Not a lot of armor to work with and nothing really spawning unless he wants to head over to 100. Ooh, takes a flak ball, and that's going to slow him down. He's going to need to look for health. This could be the end of his spree if he decides to be aggressive. Going to look for that health. He gets a couple more. There's the unstoppable. He does have 35 seconds till the keg still, so... Oh, and he runs out of ammo. And the weapon switch takes him out. Fantasy gets shut down at unstoppable. But as you can see, pretty much all in All-Stars' favor at this point. 6-0 shield belts. 102-7 seconds on the amp. And there is the concede. Looks like MOW going to give them the second map well in their favor. Fusion finally gets a belt under his control. That's the first belt anyone besides Reflex has grabbed. Well, we saw one GG come out from MOW. Maybe that's not official yet. But yeah, I mean, look at that Reflex with 6 belts. I imagine I'd be willing to bet Fantasy's got a lot of those kegs. I mean, look at that 704 healing for Fantasy. We don't necessarily see a keg number individually, but you can bet that's where that's coming from. Still pretty even damage across the board. Reflex, of course, going on a tear. When you've got that belt, sniper, and amp under control on this map. Oh, weird. Looks like the concede not working. I wonder if someone... Well, it looks like GG coming out from MOW, so... Second 4v4 map gonna go to All-Stars. That's 3 points on the board for them. And that is the last TDM game of the day. Which means we've only got 1 week left in the regular season of TDM. We do still have 2 more duels to close out our day this week, so don't shut her down yet, but for TDM fans, yeah, we're getting down to the brink. Oh, there's a dominating for Fusion. If you're Fusion, you're probably like, no, we gotta play just like 2 more minutes. I can get to Godlike, I can get there. Just, come on, guys. We did have Fantasy go unstoppable earlier, but then he got shut down when he ran out of ammo for the Stinger and got caught switching weapons. See the Rampage by Reflex with the amp. Fantasy with 199 HP and 100 armor. I mean, that's basically a bigger stack than grabbing the shield belt alone. So just so important to keep that power up in mind. Whether you dedicate 1 player to timing it, 1 or 2 to just rotating through it, you got to take the keg into account in this map. We see some teams kind of lose track of that because it's not on any other TDM maps. It's just not part of your natural rotations, but so important. Killing dominating. Fusion's up to 19 kills. You know he wants to go further. He gets the unstoppable, but I don't think we're going to count that. He gets paused right afterwards. I'm sure he's going to be like, no, man, I totally would have gone godlike, but you know what? It is what it is. 4v4 will go to All-Stars. 3 points on the board for them after the TDM. We do have a couple of duels left. I'm going to take a quick break for just a couple of moments. We'll let them get that server set up. I imagine it'll be probably on the London hub. So we'll give them a couple minutes to get that set up, and we will jump right back into this one. So stick around. We'll be here in just a couple minutes to close out the week. So I actually still see players in that last TDM hub, so I'm not sure if they're figuring out the dual lineups and servers and such, or if they're, you know, what they're doing. We don't have to worry about Killing playing duel because we saw him in 2v2, so his day is done. And his internet issues. All right, we do have players leaving that hub now. Looking to see if another dual hub pops up. Again, to recap, 3 points on the board for All-Stars. 2 best-of-3 duels left to round out the week. All right, looks like London will be our first hub, so waiting for that to pop up and bring you the first of 2 best-of-3 duels. I'll give you a quick look then at the rankings, just to give you an idea of where we are. Of course, All-Stars there, taking 3 points on the board. You can see only 5 of 8 matches played before today. So already 26 points on the board for them. Potentially 2 more. Could get them up to 28 points. And then a doubleheader next week. They actually play Saints and Sinners first, and then close out their season against Mesa Gaming, last game of the day. Huge implications for that one, because at that point, SOW down in 4th place will have already played. They're the first match of the day. So obviously them and Mesa Gaming 1 point separated. All-Stars, Saints, and Sinners, they'll play in the middle of the day. I think All-Stars, if my math is correct, All-Stars would need to win gain every point in this match, gain 5 points against Mesa Gaming, and then they would still have to win 4-1 against Saints and Sinners to overtake them. Because I believe Saints and Sinners being undefeated, more or less has a 2-point lead on them, if I'm not mistaken. Because All-Stars, you can see 5 matches, 23 points. They've dropped 2 points, which means that if they both win everything and they face each other, All-Stars will need to make up 2 points on them. Well, if they play to 5, that means they have to win 4-1. All right, so All-Stars, Saints, and Sinners, that'll be the middle match. And it'll be very interesting to see what happens there, because then, like I said, they play in the middle of the day, and then All-Stars plays Mesa at the end of the day. You could be in a situation where All-Stars is already relegated, where Saints and Sinners is already guaranteed the #1 spot. All-Stars may have already locked up the 2nd place spot. And then you might have All-Stars playing Mesa Gaming, with Mesa Gaming fighting for a chance to finish 3rd, or they might even be challenging each other for that 2nd or 3rd placement. Just depends on what happens up to that point. So a lot still yet to play, a lot of points with a lot of implications still on the board here. Okay, looks like we're going to the London hub. Still waiting for that to pop up. There it is. All right, we're going to jump in game now and get this first duel underway. Looks like we've got Fantasy. We'll see who the first dueler is for MOW. Fantasy versus Ponex. Makes sense. And we're going to be on a race for map 1. Players are ready. Here is your countdown. 3, 2, 1. Then it's game time, baby. Connex 5. Getting started with the last duels of the day, closing out the week. Got Fantasy versus Ponex. Ponex, the big combo to open things up. Both these players can be very dangerous at times. Allstars putting Killing and Reflex in their 2v2 portion, so neither of them will be available for duel. They have an extremely deep roster. Fantasy gonna jump in here, but he's gonna get the anti-combo. I think, I'm not even quite sure who comboed what there, but in the end, both players took damage. Ponex came out alive. Fantasy down now 2-0. He does have Ponex down to 41 HP though, so if Fantasy can get one more shot, he can draw back within 1. There he is. Still 7 seconds till the belt spawns. Looking for that that bio rifle ambush. Still 3 seconds. Ponex actually flaks himself and eats the bio rifle. What a bizarre way to go, and then spawns right in front of him, and just like that, Fantasy takes the lead. Pee-wee's Playhouse beginning to this match, but Fantasy comes out in the advantage and misses that combo, but pings him twice. If he had a Linka, he could finish him off, but he doesn't, so he's going to have to try to find him around the corner. He grabs the 100 armor. So no kill there for Fantasy. He's trying to ambush him at the health. Ponex decides to be a little bit sneaky, unfortunately, though he hasn't been able to pick up any health in the meantime. Oh, Fantasy finds him. Just chasing him around the map at this point. Still 20 seconds till that belt spawn, so that's not going to be spawning anytime soon. Oh, and 34 flag damage, not going to quite finish him off. Ponex running around with 13 health. I don't know how he stayed alive this long. He manages to get a snipe off. You never know what can happen. There's another snipe. And another one. Fantasy down to 40 HP. And he gets him. Ponex taking out Fantasy. He was on the run with 10 HP. Limping around and just baited him and kited him. Manages to get the kill with the snipes. And now the belt in his possession. Ponex just turning it around out of nowhere. Keep that moment there in mind. Those 4 snipes in a row. Had 10 HP, was just running around for his life. Fantasy didn't have a finisher weapon. Somehow Ponex turns it around and ties it up. If this ends up being a close game, just bookmark that moment in your mind. Oh, and he runs out of ammo and has to resort to goo. The auto switch, I guess. I'm not sure what happened there. I don't know why you would switch the bio rifle there. Maybe, did he run out of ammo? I'm not sure what happened there. This has just been a wacky match so far. We're 3 minutes in. We're tied up. Pretty even health and armor. Fantasy takes him out. Ponex got there a little bit early to that belt and wasn't able to maneuver. You don't want to be a sitting duck down in that goalie for too long. And he misses the shock rifle. Ponex went right by the shock rifle. I thought Fantasy was going to miss an opportunity to deny him. Instead, he has to go up top for sniper. Fantasy combos him. And this has been a strange one so far. Rocket's coming out. Ponex chasing him down with the stinger. Ponex only 20 HP though, so Fantasy using the stinger alt fire there. Doing good damage, eating a little bit of damage for himself. Ponex, oh, with that midair combo, Fantasy just erases him. He was trying to take him down with that enforcer, but Fantasy had enough armor there. Really wasn't worried about that. So slowly but surely, Fantasy here. Ooh, and down to 18 HP. One enforcer shot would kill him, but he grabs the belt first. Some really scary moments here for Fantasy, but Ponex coming up just a little bit short a couple of times. Combo into the corner, huge flak primary to get himself out of danger. It's so tough when you get stuck in that health corner. Your opponent has the shock rifle from right there, and they just blast you away. In that case, the flat primary getting himself, and this time wisely pulls out the link gun, looking for the spawn kill, and highly aggressive play here by Fantasy. You look at him just looking for that home run shot to get another kill on the board. Ooh, he had him predicted there, trying to push him to the left. The shock trap's coming out. Fantasy now knows he has the health and armor. He can be a little bit aggressive, force the issue. Not taking any chances to see again pulling out the link. We saw him miss a couple opportunities for kills that came back to bite him earlier, so bit of a mental adjustment there. The damage pretty even between these two. But Belts 4-1 now for Fantasy. And now a couple more shots and another big fadeaway combo. We saw him hit one of those earlier for a kill. Ooh, Fantasy almost eating a combo, but instead fights through it with a sliding or vaulting combo there on Ponex. Puts another point on the board. Still staying aggressive, really wanting to put this one away. Three shock primaries in a row there by Fantasy. Was trying to hit the combo, couldn't hit combos, and said, you know what, I'll just left click instead of right click. Let's try that. Worked out for him, up by 8, and really has jumped since the halfway point of this match. Fantasy has just jumped all over Ponex, not really allowing him to get comfortable at all. Ponex running around the map. I mean, he's staying focused. He's grabbing the 50 armor. He's trying to get some weapons under his belt. Fantasy just on top of him. And I like the idea by Ponex, trying to catch him in an ambush. But now down to 9 HP, any flak shard would kill him if he could hit him, and there he goes, finishes him off with a flak ball. I like the idea by Ponex of trying to catch him in an ambush, given how aggressive he's been. But Fantasy right now, look at the double kill with the rockets, is just in his grill. Ponex barely any opportunity to blink before Fantasy is just face to face and already doing damage. Nice fall away flak there, bouncing it off the walls, finishing off that kill. Fantasy having no problems that he was having earlier in the match. You know, we saw him allow Ponex to get away a couple of times. Not really seeing that in the second half. You see the damage differential starting to spread out a little bit more. Look at the power of control. 6-1 belt. It's going to make it very, very difficult to fight your way back in. And with 2 minutes to go, it looks like map 1 likely going to go to Allstars. Ooh, and another big flak. That's the second time Fantasy has caught him at that spawn with the flak. And that should lock it down 17-14 with a minute to go. Fantasy going to take map 1 here and get Allstars off on a good foot in the dual portion of this matchup. One map away from getting a 4th point on the board. We've already looked at the rankings. We know how important every one of these points is. Oh, nice. Falling. So many times we see people thread the needle with a combo. throwing the shock ball through. That time, Fantasy threw the shock ball, then threaded the needle with his body, just bouncing right through those, through the architecture there, down the lift. Ponex showing off his aim there. A couple of nice shock primaries. 3, in fact, and a combo breaking Fantasy all the way down to 18 HP, and he goes down. Ponex with a nice kill there to finish things off. A little bit late to come back, but still playing hard and trying to keep his focus. Of course, this is best of 3, so not uncommon to see your opponent win their map big and then try to come back and answer. I mean, we're going to have Ponex's map on Fantasy's server coming up next. All right, looks like we are moving over to the North American hub. We'll see what Ponex picked as a map. Presuming we'll be on New York City. Game is up. Looks like ASDF will be the map pick. Kind of an interesting choice there. Now, that might have been a counter pick. I mean, honestly, Ponex, I think his advantage, his competitive advantage, I suppose, or comparative advantage to Fantasy, kind of what we saw with the Toxic Shade match earlier today, would be able to being able to keep him at bay, keep him at a distance. ASDF, a little bit more of a balanced map. I mean, you can certainly do a lot of sniping and hit and run gameplay on it. But you can also close the gap.
Hail to the king, baby.
Oh, it looks like players are ready. Here's your countdown. 3, 2, 1. And it's game time, baby. Connex 5 jumping in quick to map 2. And just like that, Fantasy already on top, looking to close this week out with a win. We've got best of 3, but he does have a 1 map advantage. So if Fantasy can finish this one off, secure another ever important point on the board. We are in the next to last week of our season. Still 2 more matches for All-Stars to play next week, though. So lots of uncertainty for them. They don't want to take anything for granted. Ponex ties it back up and grabs that 100 armor, trying to force a map 3 here. This is his map pick. Now remember, early on in a race, we did see some really interesting turnarounds where Ponex was maybe dead to rights and was able to bait Fantasy into making some mistakes. Fantasy, though, eventually played hyper-aggressive. He really played a race as aggressive as I've seen anyone play, really. Trying to constantly stay in Ponex's face, make him uncomfortable, not let him play the distance game that I think Ponex, I don't know if he would necessarily be better than Fantasy at, but I think that would be probably his best bet just from a weapon selection standpoint. Shock and sniper at a distance. Fantasy, again, being all in his face, just trying to make things messy and basically get on top. Nice combos right there. Really on top of him. You still have 3 seconds till this 100 armor spawns. A little bit offset from the belt, which does mean you'll have 8 seconds between the belt next time and the 100 armor. So whoever grabs the next belt can deny that 100 to the opponent more than likely. So we'll see what happens there. It'll be a really important fight. It's in 10 seconds, and Ponex right now just looking for an angle, taking combo damage from above. Heading that direction, he goes down. Fantasy, does it go for the spawn kill or go for the belt? He's going to go for the shock rifle. Maybe give up the belt. Big combo, though, takes him down. Oh, and misses the follow-up kill. So Ponex gets away with 24 HP. Does deny that belt as well. Not much armor left from it. In fact, 0 armor left from it. And gets the 100 armor. Now that surprises me. Fantasy went for the kill and gave up position. He does get the follow-up, but now no armor for Fantasy. So he's a little bit vulnerable here. But we did extend it out to a 3-frag lead. So that moment of vulnerability did not last long. Fantasy already back up to over 100 health. Picked up that 50. Another kill on the board. Expect him to be aggressive here. Playing this almost like it's a Quake game, like a game where your health and armor advantage slowly trickle down. He's not wasting any time trying to start fights as quickly as possible. And it's working out for him. He's got the belt up. Ooh, looking for the headshot off the spawn. But belt is his. Shock rifle is his. And with 10 seconds until the 100 armor spawns, he can put it to his back and try to track down his opponent. Beautiful chase down there with a 180 rocket. Fantasy now extending that lead, approaching the halfway point of this one. Does take a couple sniper shots in a row, and that's what Ponex can do if he can get that sniper rifle in his hands and if he can actually get some room to breathe. I think that's part of Fantasy's strategy, though, is to not allow him to have that elbow room, not let him get comfortable. Constantly wants Ponex to be uncomfortable on the run. See him throwing combos around, trying to guess what spawn Ponex is going to get. Chosen correctly, Ponex will have an opportunity to go pick up a little bit of armor. Ooh, Fantasy missing that 100 armor. That's going to cost him a couple seconds. That might give up the shield belt. Ponex is down there. Yeah, Ponex gets that shield belt. Largely because of that missed jump, but huge rising combo by Fantasy. Negates that shield. Both players relatively weak right now. Close range battle, Rockets versus Stinger. They both take a little bit of damage, but not much. And this is as weak as Fantasy's been in a while. Oh, that headshot. There's an exclamation point coming into the middle of the map. Puts him down. And already a 9-frag lead for Fantasy. Ooh, nice snipe from across the map. Ponex whittling Fantasy down. I mean, this is probably the first time in a while he's had an actual health and armor advantage. But it's up to him to try to finish it off. And just has had trouble. And meanwhile, Fantasy sneaks back around and grabs that belt. Ponex really just out of position there. And now down to 9 HP. Fantasy flipped that situation around instantly with that belt grab. And smart play there. They're pulling out the finisher weapon, getting the rampage. And well on his way to securing that 4th point for Allstars. Still a little bit of time left on the clock. Rockets himself in the face. That's not going to help. Ponex now with an opportunity to be aggressive if he wants to be. He's got 100 armor, 100 HP. And he has an advantage on Fantasy, but he hasn't really been able to cut him off. Has him in the corner with the Rockets. This is an opportunity for Ponex to get back in control. Oh, he guesses right, but Fantasy pushes him away with the flak. And Fantasy now erasing that health and armor advantage that Ponex had built. Not just surviving, but flipping the situation around. And this is just a scenario Ponex hasn't been as comfortable in being aggressive. You can see Fantasy just baiting him around the map while he picks up every armor. And Ponex wasn't doing damage and wasn't able to pick up any pickups there. So Fantasy completely flip that advantage right back in his favor. You see him exploding with that sniper rifle shot, back up to a 12-frag lead. Now 13, looking for the spawn kills, and another one, 3 combos. Oh, looking for maybe the headshot to complete the highlight reel clip. There's another combo in Fantasy. Putting on a clinic with his combos at this point. 3 or 4 kills in a row, really nice shots, and showing just a ton of map knowledge there. I mean, again, you kind of wonder about the map pick against him. I think this is a map that actually really... Oh, nice direct rocket as well. The way Fantasy's been playing against Ponex here, I think this map really played into that style. In any case, that will be map 2, duel number 1. That's the 4th point on the board. Fantasy looking good in that duel, and his week is done. We are now getting set up for the last games of the day, the 5th and final point on the table between these two teams in the second duel. We're going to let them get that set up. Give you another look again at the rankings just so you kind of got something to peek at. There we go. I imagine we'll be heading back to London again. Yeah, just based on playstyle, that was actually one of the more impressive duels I've seen from Fantasy. Now, I think more than anything, showing the diversity in playstyle. He sometimes will play a very kind of passive, methodical game. We've seen moments of aggression. He's not a super, like, plus back player or anything. But really being hyper aggressive in that game, almost looking like, you know, like the last game that we saw earlier where he just countered map control by just diving at his opponent, rather. And Fantasy showing that he can play that play style too, really staying on top of Ponex, not allowing him to get comfortable with that snipey gameplay. We saw that again, Toxic versus Reeve earlier in the day, another situation where you had just different play styles and ways to counter it. All right, I do see Demon in the London hub. I imagine he'll be the second dueler for Allstars. Just waiting for that server to go up. Yeah, I mean, we saw, it wasn't quite a multi-kill, but we saw 2 straight spawn kills. We probably saw 3 or 4 total, just immediate spawn kills on ASDF. Definitely a map that rewards that kind of aggression, tied in with the map knowledge and the movement ability. I think if Ponex could have that pick back, he might have chosen, we saw, you know, in chat, maybe deck, maybe even something like Rankin, where you can bait your opponent, you can keep it to be a mid or long range battle. Something where you can bait them into shock traps at the very least if they want to be aggressive. People forget in Rankin and 2K4, there were people who played Rankin and conceded the 100 armor every time. They said, you can have that 100 armor, which is now belt down there, and I'm just going to combo you or rocket you every time you leave. So I'm really only giving up 0 to, you know, 25 armor each time, and I'm grabbing the armor up top as well as the vials, and I come out ahead. So that is a strategy you can play on a map like Rankin. So if you want to keep your distance and you never want to be up close, you don't necessarily have to get up there, especially in duel. You know, in 2v2, you still have to fight over the amp. But in duel, you know, if you want to keep your distance on a map like Rankin, you definitely can. And of course on deck, same kind of thing. If you want to grab shield belt and get out of there with boots and, you know, not get caught in those rocket duels going up the lifts, you can definitely do that and dictate the flow of battle. Oh, gotcha. I forgot we took Rankin out. Yeah, I mean, Rankin is one of those maps where if you get in control, you can sort of plus back a ways and keep your distance. I think there's a chat command that will link up to the social media stuff. Yeah, UTProLeague.com are right there. So we're a little over 4 hours into this. Of course, we had Dusik bringing you the early game and then some intermission talk earlier today. Appreciate everyone for hanging out with us. We're going to lead you into this last duel. It does look like we have Demon in the server. I'm not sure who his opponent will be. Just waiting for them to show up. And then, yeah, then we're down to one more week in the regular season. Next weekend will be a long one. Again, I'll give you another look at it. The 26th 5 matches coming in. That'll finalize our playoff rankings. And I'm telling you now, I don't want a bunch of people telling me that they didn't realize that the playoffs started on the 1st. Playoffs start on August 1st. They finish August 2nd. We got a back-to-back day for you. Dusik mostly will be bringing you the 1st. I'll mostly be bringing you the 2nd. We might have some dual casting here or there. Yet to figure that out. But in any case, you want to be here for all of that. Single elimination. And I believe our 3rd place and grand finals will both be best of 7. So potentially some interesting scenarios where a 3rd or 4th 4v4 TDM map could come into play to decide the winners there. Something we haven't seen before. So mark that on your calendars. Stock up on your popcorn and your, I don't know, kombucha, your beer, your sparkling water, whatever it is you want to drink. Even regular water. That's cool too. I've got regular water right here with me. You know, the Twitch app on your phone works pretty well. If you want to watch abroad. I've certainly done that before. I was actually, when they did the, oh, what was it? It was a fundraiser. Was it a cancer treatment fundraiser for a member from the community a while back? I was actually away at a wedding, and I popped in on my phone. Didn't even have Wi-Fi. Just popped in using the cell phone signal out in the woods just to say hi and catch some of that. It scales down pretty well when you're on the phone. So it looks like Fast Break's going to be the opponent here. So Demon 1 for Allstars, going to be their number 2 dueler. Fast Break going to be number 2 for MOW. Give you a quick look. So MOW, of course, looking to fight their way back into the playoffs here. They will still have a match next week. So MOW will play, you can see, against Allstars in a match that'll mean a lot to both of those teams for playoff implications. Sorry, they're playing them right now. Allstars will, or excuse me, MOW played Druckwell in a match that would mean a lot to them for playoff implications, because both of them kind of towards the bottom, like right on the bubble of getting into the playoffs. Still a lot of points to be traded between those teams. And every time I see Baguette, it just makes me hungry. Can we talk about baguettes? Baguettes are great. Baguette. Don't forget. Never forget baguette. All right, just looking to get the second player in the server. We're actually running pretty well. We're not really ahead of schedule at this point, technically. We might be a little bit ahead of schedule. In any case, appreciate everyone for showing up and sticking with us. First match went super early. So we had a little bit of time to talk, to chat. There we go, fast break in the server. We'll switch over to that. So once they're ready to go, we are ready to follow. Erase will be map 1. You can see we're on European Hub, so this will be Demon's map pick. We've seen Demon dominate on this map. We've also seen him be a little bit spotty on it. Someone who sometimes lives and dies by his aim. A little bit streaky in that sense. We'll see, though, really... The key to that, if you're going to be a very aim-dependent player, it's just going to be a matter of what do you do, what adjustments do you make if you're not hitting those shots. It's almost like a, name your sport, right? Like soccer or basketball or something, where if your shots just aren't going in, what adjustments do you make to make up for that? All right, looks like Demon is ready to go. We'll try to get on board. Looks like Fast Break spinning in circles, so testing out some of his binds. Throw weapon bind. You want to make sure your throw weapon bind is ready to go for duel. You definitely don't want to go into a duel without that bind, that bind set. So important to test that in warm-up mode for sure. It's like checking your buttons in a fighting game. Fast Break needs a second. I mean, you saw him testing this throw. You know, he might be testing out a suicide bind next. Again, also very important in duels, so understandable. You want to make sure all of your necessary critical binds are in order before starting the match. Once you hit that ready up button, there's no turning back. All right, players are ready, and we're going to get this kicked off soon. All right, buckle up, kids. Here is your countdown. 3, 2, 1. And it's game time, baby. Connex 5 bringing you the last match of the day. We got Fast Break versus Demon. The second duel between Allstars and MOW for the last point here at the end of the season here. One more week to go. Every point so critical. First blood there going to Demon. This is a map where I think he can really use his hit scan aim to his advantage. Try to keep Fast Break at a distance. Doesn't want to eat any fluky rockets or anything like that. If he can run the map, keep it a distant game, I think that'll be his best bet to kind of just keep focused. Fast Break, meanwhile, I think his best bet might be to ambush him. You know, make it about a close range battle. We've seen so many fights over the belt and 100 armor where rockets and combos come into play. Oh, he had one lined up there. Speaking of combos, nails him with one from above as well. Here's the rocket play that comes out. Whoever can win this fight will earn themselves a shield belt, and there it is. First belt goes to Demon. 2 frag lead, and the opportunity for more. Oh, he had him lined up. That was a beautiful shock ball setup, but couldn't quite combo it. Would have been a very nice, difficult shot, but had him perfectly predicted. Nice job backing up to the 50, so he had that stinger, and that's good job by Fast Break. Defensive stinger is kind of underrated. It really forces your opponent to eat and chew through their health in order to get a shot on you. You can see it turning him away right there. It's just so annoying to shoot up against. So 100 armor up. Demon's in great position for it. Nice casual combo. Oh, a nice aim right there. Just had him completely predicted. 2 shots though, 3 from Fast Break, answering the call up close and gets him with the combo, baits him into the dive towards the armor. He's gonna grab the opportunity to get up front with that flak. Oh, but Demon takes him down to 27 HP. Fast Break though with the clutch flak. And those are those 50-50 shots, the close range that I think Fast Break has a chance to maybe force, was to try to take this map from Demon. Remember, MOW kind of on that bubble between making the playoffs and not, so any points that can come out with in this matchup are huge. And then Allstars, of course, fighting for potentially the #1 seed in the playoffs, so every point matters on their side as well. They're going to have a double header next week, so still a lot to be determined with their final placement. Demon with the snipe around the corner and catches Fast Break off the spawn. 2 quick kills. Back into the lead. Oh, he backs through. Demon misses this shield belt there. Fast Break pushes him. Demon backs right by it. And Fast Break suddenly has a sniper rifle and a shield belt. What can he do now? He can't push him off of the 100 armor. And that'll go a long way, but takes a sniper shot, so Demon's still a little bit on the defensive here. You see him just hiding, baiting Fast Break to go somewhere else. Fast Break's going to peek and get him with a sniper shot. They're going to trade shots with Fast Break with a bit of a health advantage. And another sniper, one more would do it. Oh, and he guesses wrong, but he chases him down with Link. Has him in the corner. Nice job by Demon to pick up health. But down to 32 HP. One shot would get the kill. Demon, though, manages to escape up the lift. Fast Break's just going to chase. If he has the Link out, he can turn the corner. He doesn't want to chase him. Looks for the shot. Hits the headshot. Completely unnecessary. Would have killed him with a body shot. But down to a 1 frag lead now. And Fast Break hanging in there in a close range fight over that belt. Looks like he came away with it, but can't get the kill. Kind of surprised. I thought Fast Break would have pushed there with the flak out. Had 120 armor versus 0. Big opportunity there to perhaps tie it up, but instead decides to be a little bit more careful. He has plenty of time, so he doesn't need to make any uncomfortable pushes. He can definitely choose his spots. But I thought he had Demon in a precarious position right there. A little bit of free damage from the Link. Demon down to 37 armors. 50 armor will be spawning soon. There is the Link rush. Demon's still pretty healthy, but down to 45 HP. Eats Link up close, and that'll do it. Tie game. Fast Break with the great Link ambush. Catching him around that corner, and the Link primary did tons of damage there. 100 armors up in 5 seconds. Fast Break not even going to go for it. Belt's up right now. I think he heard Demon circling around for it. Demon is going to hang in there and try to drop some rockets on the belt. Combos down as well. Gives up the belt. Is he going to back up to the 100 armor? Looks like he is. So Demon's going to get that 100. Still a little bit of an armor and health advantage. Fast Break trying to keep him off that shock rifle, but he's already got one. Past the halfway point. Tie game. More Link primary damage by Fast Break. Ooh, and this is not the game that I think Fast Break wants to play. Demon evens out the health and armor, but he actually gets a couple of quick shots on him with the shock and the sniper. And so now Demon down to 37 HP. We could see another Link chase down by Fast Break. He's going to hang out and grab that 100. Oh, and Demon crosses his field of view right after he turns the corner. So a close call there. Demon doesn't even realize how close that was. Close range Flak, though, trying to take him out. Flak versus Rockets. This could go either way. Oh, he dodges right by one. And there is the go-ahead shot with 4 minutes to go. Fast Break. Ooh, almost cut him off the spawn. Misses the combo, and that could be critical as the Link takes him down. And Demon maybe a little bit fortunate there as Fast Break. He put some pressure on him with the Link, but could have gone either way with the Rockets and Flak. And then either way with the combo versus Link. And Demon now with a snipe, the ability to take the lead again if he can chase him down here. So we are dead even. Last 3.5 minutes to go. Only map 1, but crucial to go in with the lead for map 2. Got Shock versus Shock. Both players missing their setups. 100 armor is up. It's a bit of a game of chicken here. Demon back in the corner, but he does get the armor. Has plenty of health on top of it, and that damage will allow him to bully Fast Break away from that lift that leads to the shield belt. Demon's going to go and be aggressive, try to get the chase down. He's only got 31 HP. Oh, he peeks. Tries to get the shot around the corner that would have gotten him a kill. He does chase him away long enough to get a free grab of that belt, though, and that could be crucial. Just getting an easy grab, no damage. Fast Break actually being surprisingly aggressive here, considering he has 0 armor. 100 armor is up. He can back up to it now, but Demon can put some shots down range. Small armors are up as well. Demon doesn't necessarily need any more armor. He might soak up some ammo. There's one quick snipe. Looking for the follow-up. Nothing happened in there. There's the close range Link. Fast Break putting a ton of pressure on him again. Just chasing him down with Link despite not having the armor advantage. So Fast Break shooting his way back in. Pretty much even health and armor. With 2 minutes to go. Nobody wanting to be the one that gives up the first lead in the end of this one. 100 armor back to Fast Break's control. Big ambush there. 55 damage combo. And the rocket follow-up eats a shot in return. And this is a huge belt spawning right now. Flak versus Link. Rockets take him out. Demon gets the kill and the belt. And that's a huge, huge kill. Oh, maybe a follow-up kill here off the spawn. Fast Break gets away. Demon Probably happy to just catch his breath at this point. He's out of shock ammo, but with 2 minutes to go, he's got 150 armor, I guess 130 armor now, and the lead and a nice foot shot to eat into that armor lead. Anything he can do to break down Fast Break and force him to be aggressive and predictable. Nice combo. He's going to have him trapped in the corner. A kill here could do it, and that might be the last kill he needs. He's going to follow it up and maybe get a spawn kill just to put it away. Doesn't want to give Fast Break any opportunity to be aggressive. Still 15 seconds till the belt spawns, and Fast Break now in a tough position. Demon just needs 1 or 2 more shots. Doesn't necessarily need a kill. Just needs to turn him away. This has been an absolute nail biter, but with the last 2 kills, with about 2 minutes to go, and that belt, Demon's going to have a huge advantage in the closing moments here. So there we go, 35 seconds to go. Give you a quick look at the scoreboard. Pretty much dead even between these two. You can see the difference in damage, about the only difference in the game. And I think Clock's gonna run out on Fast Break. He gets into his face, but Demon's still very, very stacked. In the last couple minutes, he has just been in control and really not finding himself out of position. So great positioning by Demon once he did take that lead in the last couple minutes. And there you go, map 1 going to Demon. It was back and forth though. And we will be heading over now to Fast Break's map pick on Demon's home hub. I think it'll be NYC or GCP. You see them deciding that in chat right now. All right, looks like NYC will be our hub. We'll head over there right now and wait for them to get that hosted. All right, game is up. We are jumping in, and here we go. Potentially the last map of the week. We're on ASDF. And that one dead even until the last, about the 2-minute point to go. When Demon just hit that clutch kill. Got the follow-up, and that was all he needed to run away with it. More than anything, too, though, being able to do the damage leading into the fights over shield belt. I mean, he got the last couple belts. I think that was just as important as anything. The players are ready. Map 2 coming up right now. All right, players are ready. Here comes your countdown. 3, 2, 1. And it's game time, baby. Connex 5 here with map 2. We just had a tight one on Erase. Demon comes out ahead. Now it's Fast Break's map pick, but Demon with the chance to put it away, secure the 5th and final point of this matchup. Fast Break trying to force a tiebreaker. He almost had him on Erase just with a couple of minutes to go. Demon finally broke out into the lead and coasted home with it. See what they can bring us from map 2 here. Going forward with Fast Break, who managed to secure that 100 armor. Catches Demon in the corner. One more shot. Could do it. Demon down to 5 HP and Fast Break. Juggles him with the shot, but he takes, an enforcer shot off the spawn. You got to be careful. Demon could actually even things back out if he can get into his face. Fast Break grabbing some health, scooping up some items. Gonna be a tough fight over this belt. Demon baits him into it. And that's all he needed. One step forward. And now the belt and the advantage back into Demon's hands. Fast Break wisely scoops up that 100 armor. We'll see if Demon tries to force a fight here. Just a split second late with those shock setups. Almost out of shock ammo, but wisely. Yeah, circles back around. Wants to keep those weapons out of Fast Break's hands. And almost back up to max shock ammo. So important on this map. Another big combo. And right now, Demon is living off those combos. Just catching them around corners all game long. There's the rockets. Can finish him off with the link gun here. The Stinger trying to take him down. And that Stinger was just shooting in circles around Demon. Fast Break did great work with the Stinger to keep him at bay a couple times last map. No luck there, Demon. Another combo to follow up. And the primary takes him down up by 2 now. Remember, this is Demon's home server, even though it is Fast Break's map pick. Nice follow-up with the rockets and the belt going to him. Demon on a roll right now. We'll see what he can do to try to build a lead. We saw Fast Break fight his way back into it a couple of times last map. A killing spree here for Demon early on. Oh, that link gun brutal. And Fast Break, again, just like the Stinger earlier, was trying to get some damage output with the Stinger, or with the Enforcer. Just not happening. And so unfortunately for Fast Break, again, giving up basically a free kill. He was trying to trade damage to at least break down Demon. Maybe get revenge after he died. Wasn't really able to do it though, so Demon got a couple of free kills to add to his lead. Up by 5 now. And 100 armor is up. Fast Break can head over to it, but he's not really willing to take that risk. We'll see if Demon does. Ooh, almost caught him in midair. 8-2 sniper shots in a row though. Fast Break with an opportunity now to be aggressive. Big risk diving right across that shock rifle. Hit the snipes, though, to keep him on the run. Oh, almost a finishing blow. Had a couple opportunities there. Demon up to 62 HP. One snipe would still kill him. Or a big flak shot. Oh, he gives up the belt. Does do some damage. Demon down to 18 HP, but he's got that shield belt on top of it. Big damage back and forth, and Demon spins the tables right back around onto him. Takes him down. And Demon back up to 68 HP. And a 6 frag lead. And more sniper shots coming out. And the mid-air shock ball doesn't even have to combo it. Bit fortunate there by Demon. Has been running around with 4 HP. One Enforcer shot I think would take him out. Anything would kill him. More balls just flying around the map. No modesty here for Demon, but 8-1. Approaching the halfway point. Oh, and just jumps right over a rocket. I think that might have taken him out if it hits him. Getting a bit fortunate here, and unfortunately for Fast Break. Nothing he's doing is working. There's a big rocket, though, to knock him down. And Demon on the run yet again. Can Fast Break finish him off this time? He might be giving up that 100 armor in order to grab this belt, and I'm not sure if Demon did that on purpose. But he does negate it a bit with that sniper shot. So now Demon with 17 HP. Going to try to get back into those health bubbles. You see the shock trap set up by Fast Break. Can't get the damage. Demon does manage to get to those health bubbles. Bit tense there. If Fast Break had I'd guessed correctly, could have taken him out. Demon, though, just smacks him down with the shock tape. Juggles him with the primaries, and already an 8 frag lead. It seems like this has been such an even back and forth game. But Demon is just hitting more shots at this point, straight about, really just out shooting him. Trades back and forth to the snipe. Does earn Fast Break a kill. We're only at the halfway point here. If he can get stacked back up. Oh, that combo might have gotten him a kill. Instead, Demon takes him out with the midair Enforcer and grabs the shield belt on top of that. Huge play there by Demon, and big risk. If that combo hits, he probably loses a kill. And then the headshot on top of it. Right now, everything Demon does is just working out for him. Looking for the spawn kill. Does actually miss that shot and gives up the rocket launcher, but gets away safely. Ooh, big combo. Fast Break, hearing it coming, gets away clean and pinging him down with some Enforcer damage. A couple more shots could actually get a kill here. He actually throws him a link gun. There's a little bit of mind games there by Demon. Throws fast break a Lincoln after he's hitting him with the Enforcer. Chases him down with the Piston, and looks like that'll be a kill. Big combo now, and I think at this point, Demon's pretty much got it in hand. You might see the concession, the killing spree in the teabag. So it looks like Fast Break might be conceding this one. He's certainly not playing. I don't know if he's typing something. So a little bit of fun happening back and forth. Well, we ended with a little bit of... well, there's an opinion for you, but Demon comes out on top. And Allstars finishing this one off with the points. So we'll send you back over to the website. Give you a look at the rankings, update our schedule as well. Sorry, wrong button. There we go. I'm glad I didn't hit my my eject button. I'd be flying through the ceiling right now. But anyway, just hit the wrong page. It's all good. And you can see we've updated